welcome to Wrokdown, coming to you live from Musicland. My very special guest this evening was born to legendary entertainers Reg Gray and Joan Clark. By the time she was 8 years old, she was singing on radio and a regular performer on Graham Kennedy's IMT. She had a record contract with EMI by the time she was 15, and as they say, the rest is history. Would you please welcome the beautiful Samantha Sang?
Oh! This girl has not changed. She looks absolutely fantastic. How many years ago? We worked together.
It's a bit scary to tell them.
It
Do
is
we have
really
to tell
scary.
them?
And we haven't had facelifts or anything like that. But we did the magic show. I don't know whether a lot of you might have remembered the magic show.
At the Princess Theatre, yeah.
And we had lots of fun.
We'll talk about that.
Yes.
We'll talk about that later.
Yes.
That really was a very, very funny time. However, that was probably one of the smaller parts of your career, even though you had the lead role at the Princess Theatre. Let's start, because I do remember watching you on telly, and of course you were known as the little girl with the big voice. And Cheryl Gray, as you were then.
That's right.
And of course later on changed your name back to the family's original surname, which was
Sang.
Sang. So take us through basically your career from IMT on and the way things evolved, that you ended up going to England and recording.
Right.
So,
well, I did the IMT, and then and I was doing that only in my school holidays, because Mum and Dad said, you've got your schooling to do, you've got to do all that, so you've got to make sure. I did Stotts Business College, which I was hopeless at. The teacher, I dropped out of that. The teacher said, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to sing. So by the age of 14, I got a contract with EMI, and I put my first single out, Brand New Woman, which got in the charts. Then I recorded You Made Me What I Am.
that was a massive hit.
You might remember You Made Me What I Am.
Come
And
on,
it was
you
a
remember that song.
number one record
You made me what I am.
there. We blend well together, don't we? And so I had, I was doing all my father drove me tonight, he's still driving me. And I had, a lot of experience doing all the clubs and the discos and touring. First tour I did with Johnny Young and did all that, yes.
Wow.
Absolutely, yeah. And then we went overseas because we wanted to broaden the career. I'd done everything here. And
Did Mum and Dad go
Mum
with
and
you?
Mum and Dad went.
Actually, gorgeous Reg Gray is here tonight with us, so big hand for... Your Mum and Dad were on every television show in Australia, as I can remember, weren't they?
66 years married, so that's fantastic, isn't it? Yeah. And we went over there. Now this is an incredible story, and this is how fate really changes your life with things. A friend of mine had You Made Me What I Am over there, and he said he was very good friends with Barry Gibb of the Bee Gees. And he said, I'm going to dinner tonight. He said, can I take the record and play it, to Barry? And I said, yeah, sure. Anyway, I'm not joking, and this is the truth. At 2 o'clock in the morning, the phone goes. Dad answers the phone. He said, hello, this is Barry Gibb of the Bee Gees. I love your daughter. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. He said, I want a recorder. I want to introduce her to Robert Stigwood, the manager, his manager.
He was one of the biggest managers at the time.
He did hair, superstar, and it was just unbelievable. Got up with the dress gown there and went, what? Barry Gibb of the Bee Gees, Anyway, I was put through. He said, I wanted to see if the voice is real. So he took me in to meet Robert Stigwood. who was, he said, I want to put you on at Luton, Caesar's Palace, which was a big, big, big club. And they took all the hierarchy there, you know, to see if I could deliver. And I did the show there, and he said, actually, Dad was with me. He's always with me. And we went into the office, and he said, I've never, ever done it. He said, I want to sign your daughter to a 5-year contract. But he said one thing, you know, because I was Cheryl Gray at the time. He said, I want something that's going to grab, that's going to be good for publicity. And I said, well, our real name is Sang, and I'd always loved the name Samantha. So I said, how about, you know, putting them two together? Robert said, fantastic. And so everything went really, really well. And Barry wrote me a song called The Love of a Woman. Absolutely fantastic ballad. And that was starting to go, but I was plagued at times by visa problems.
Yeah, most Australian artists were.
And it was a long story. I think, I don't know, I think it was that they had it out for Robert Stigwood because he'd done something with the Bee Gees, you know, that put their nose out of joint. Mm-hmm. So I was the next cab off the rank, you know. And they wanted me to return home virtually. But anyway, I went to he sent the whole family to America. And I was over there, and I had to do the Sir Regis Maisonette room in New York. He said, I want to get through all this. He said, I want Ahmed Ertegun, who was from...
Big head of the record company, is that correct?
Atlantic
Records,
and
yeah.
that. He said, you can't do it, Robert. He said, yes, I want her presented. He said, and I want the record at the time, played to everybody because I want to get her on the Johnny Carson show. So I did a whole big concert there, and it was an incredible success, Wendy. And, you know, it was a lot for a 17-year-old too.
You were only 17.
Yes, yes. And then I got the Johnny Carson show, I'm not joking, 15 minutes before I was to go on, the authorities walked in and said, you can't go on. So the record was starting to go. So this is what I say to all you young people out there that might be looking today. Show business is not an easy career.
If I may, so I'm presuming you were very, very lucky to have the parents that had done so much in the entertainment industry. Much and all as having known what showbiz was like, they also knew the pitfalls.
It was just part of my life. I wasn't going to be doing typing. No.
Well, you certainly weren't. We're going to take a short break.
Okay,
we'll be back soon with the gorgeous Samantha Sang. Be back soon.
So easy, you do it.
Wrokdown.
Welcome back to Wrokdown. My special guest is Samantha Sang.
Yeah, aren't they a great crowd? They're in the Christmassy mood.
They're eating their chippies.
Absolutely, yeah.
Chippies and dip. You're spoiled. Okay, so where we left off, tragic, really. You were about to go on the Johnny Carson show and immigration stepped in.
That's right.
So did they turf you out?
The pitfalls, virtually, yes. And, you know, it was very upsetting, but that's the way show business is. I came back and I was doing Bert Show and doing all that. And then I did my television special, Samantha Sang and Rock the World.
I remember that.
Which was the first colour television special for a girl on Channel 10. And in walked a very flamboyant, you know who I'm talking about, Billy May.
Billy May.
Who became my manager, who's no longer with us now, but this was the man that really, we were a great team together.
How did he come to be in Australia? Because I remember, as you said, very flamboyant. Back then, did he have the hair?
Great looking guy, blonde, and he met his partner over there.
So how did Billy
with
come to be
Malcolm.
here in Australia?
Well, his partner was Malcolm Cook, who he met overseas, and then he came to live over there.
Oh, okay.
You know, they were together for many, many, many years until Billy passed. And he went to the show and he said, I'm just knocked out, Sam. He said, if you can dream, you can dream for it. He said, I want to take you back to America.
With a visa?
Yes, yes. Very quick, Wendy Stapleton, very quick off the mark, yeah. So Billy and I went back there and we met up with Tony Camillo, who was Gladys Knight's producer, who did Midnight Train to Georgia.
Oh, beautiful.
And he was a wonderful producer, and I recorded with Tony. This is how one thing leads to another. I did a song called Waiting for the Last Goodbye. And we're out there in the snow being kids, throwing the tape around. And Billy said, you know something? He said, I'm going to... We actually tried to... Billy and I literally... He was very eccentric with his dressing and so was I. So we'd walk the snow and everything with high heels, with bling. I mean, I wore bling before bling was in.
Oh, before Soozie?
Oh, yes, and I saw Soozie. She looks fantastic. It's great. Bring it on, girl. That's what I say. And we went to all the big recording studios and, you know, no. They were soon to eat their words later when I saw them later. We got to Private Stock, which was a smaller record company, but it still had Sissy Houston on it, and Robert Plant, who passed away. And Bill said, we're going to... I came back and we were staying at his mother's place in Staten Island, and it was quite exciting for the whole town. Well, the whole town came up. And Billy said, we're flying to Paris tomorrow. And I said, oh, really? Thanks for letting me know. So, yes, he said, I've rung Barry and he wants to see you, you know.
So were the Bee Gees performing in Paris?
No, they were making Saturday Night Fever.
Oh, in
and
Paris?
Recording, yes.
Oh.
Right out in Wook Wook. You know, so we got a taxi to drive out there. I looked like a French poodle, and I went to the hairdressers, and I couldn't understand a word I said being Australian, and they did me with a whole big, you know, sort of thing, and I tear it out. I want to look natural, you know. And we drove out there, and this is absolutely, to the day I die, this was one of the highlights. We went into La Chateau, and I hadn't seen Barry and Linda, because I got on so well with Linda, his wife. And Night Fever is playing. Night Fever, you know, doing the whole... And then More Than a Woman, playing all the hits that were going to be, that hadn't been released. And we sat down, and Barry is a very down-to-earth person. He really is. He's a gentleman, you know. And we played it. He said... I love it. He said, Sam, because we had all that visa problem and I'd written You Love of a Woman, I really owe it to you to do a song. Now, he said, there's 2 songs you can pick. And he's strumming away on the guitar, Emotion, and then he played I Love, Don't Throw It All Away, which ended up being Andy Gibb's big song. He said, which one do you want? And I said, I think I want Emotion. And I said, I'll do 8, you do 8 of the harmonies, and I'll do 8 of the harmonies. And this is always what I've been plagued with. Everybody thinks it's Samantha Sang and the Bee Gees, but it's not, because our voices blend so well together. We did the harmonies, the harmonies 8 of the harmonies and 8 of the halves. So forever around the world and Europe, I've always said, no, I do 8 of the harmonies, but the rest was history, and everybody else was, we released it, and that was it.
That was the beginning of the big, I guess, era in your life. We're going to take a short break, be back soon and hear about 6 million copies later, that's million, what Miss Sang got up to. We're actually going to a film clip. This is, wait for it, because I have to look because I've forgotten. No, I haven't.
Wait for it.
It's Seal, sorry. Do you ever? You love Seal?
Yeah, I love Seal.
Let's have a look at Seal.
Absolutely.
We'll be back soon. Welcome back to Wrokdown, my favourite segment of the show. I say this every week. I feel like I've said that before.
Oh, no, we're not at all, not at all.
Of course, the beautiful Soozie Pinder. In her tiara.
Yes, I'm a bit low-key today. I just didn't have enough bling to put on. When I've been having a ball, some mates of yours, I went down to a place called Pud's Tavern, and Pud's Tavern is over in Lilydale, and it's this gorgeous little venue that a gorgeous woman has put together, and it was Life of Riley.
Life of Riley being Chris Riley.
Yes.
Brother of
Rob Riley.
From Rose Tattoo. What a talented family.
They are amazing. Life of Riley were here throughout Band Wars, that is filmed here at Musicland, and they were in the finalists, and they absolutely tear up the stage. They're a 3-piece, and they have a full sound. It was an amazing show. We thought we were going to go, Lawrence and I were going to go along, do the interview, and come home because we were tired. The minute they started playing, we thought, we'll just get a drink and sit down. At 1 o'clock in the morning, we said, better go home.
Go home.
They were that good.
Fantastic.
They actually did a version of Slade's Darling Be Home Soon. And the only time I've ever heard that played was when I was 14 at Festival Hall with the real McCoy. It was phenomenal. It was really remarkable. So they were amazing. They were great guys.
So Life of Riley, and as you said, they were in the finals here at Musicland.
Yeah.
Are they recording, or are they going to record?
We've got a great CD out, which I should have brought in. I've plugged it here, if you can see it in the interview. But they're just going back into the studio because they've got a new drummer, and they have, apparently, if I think this CD is good, the new one is absolutely remarkable. So
we're going to see a little snippet?
I think so. I don't know if we've got a snippet now, but they were great. But you'll see the interview and you'll get the gist of it.
So here we are having a look at Life of Riley. Here we go.
Hey, it's Soozie here, out and about for Wrokdown TV, and I am at the most glorious location. I'm in Lilydale at Pud's Tavern. It is an amazing place, and I am just so stoked because one of my most favourite bands are here, and I've found the buggers from the Life of Riley. Hello, you pair of mad buggers.
G'day, Susie. How you going?
Dangerous.
You pop up anywhere, don't you?
Anywhere they'll have me. Now, Grant, you're a 3-piece, and you've recently changed drummers, but you had a young drummer in the band. Tell us about your drummer.
Well, we had young Jason, Chris's son, in the band, who was a fantastic young drummer and come a long way in a short amount of time, and he got too good for us and moved on. And now we've got someone our own age.
Young bloke, a 21-year-old now, huh? Yeah?
Something like that. Almost.
Now, you've got a good pedigree because people might know your brother.
Yeah, Rob Riley. He was over in Adelaide, and he was many years with Rose Tattoo. And so it's sort of runs in the family, I think, yeah.
Now, I was so amazed because I'm just reaching behind me. If I stashed it, I've got it. Because this CD.
That's the one.
This is a bloody awesome CD. Every song on this CD, and I play it on my radio show every week. Every song is amazing. Tell us about the CD.
Well, there's 8 tracks on the CD, a couple of acoustics, and the rest of them are all bluesy rock tunes that Grant and I have written over the last couple of years. And the whole process was live in the studio. Got it in a take or two. And so we just grab that natural energy instead of like playing one instrument at a time and redoing it. You tend to lose that sort of spontaneous energy. So we're really happy with the album.
Yeah. You're pretty mean, Grant, on the slide. I'm loving your style. How'd you pick up that style?
I just always loved slide guitar. I'm an old blues tragic, so I love the old Elmore James and Robert Johnson and Muddy Waters, everyone like that. And so that's where it came from. And I love the Rolling Stones and their sort of slide work. And
What about you over this side? What did you listen to when you were growing up, Chris?
Oh, when I was growing up, I don't think I've finished growing up yet.
No, you don't. When you finish, that's it, end of story.
That's it. But I'm from more of a rock background, and like a lot more of your Deep Purple and stuff like that, Black Sabbath, and going right back, and so that's where the rock side of this show comes out. Where Grant, he's got the blues, so we put the two together, and they're blending really, really well together. Yeah.
You are awesome. Your sound is, for a three-piece, it sounds just mind-blowing. If you shut your eyes, you wouldn't believe it was just a three-piece.
Yeah, we try and not be too busy with our songs. It's just the way that you play them, I think. It's when you get that great formula together, it's something that'll just click, and you know when it does click. And it's a fantastic feeling as well, yeah.
I just want everyone to meet the new drummer, Matt. Come in here. Here? In here? Oh, come in here.
I'll sit here.
In here. Is that okay?
In here.
Yeah. Hang on, we're squeezing them in. Now,
Oh,
hey,
nice.
Matt, hello.
Nice.
How you doing?
You notice I did bring my Torquay glasses.
I'm glad.
These are the ones we're going to use for the gig just before New Year's.
And have you found joining the band for
No,
you?
this is so much fun. I used to play another band with Grant, and I think we clicked the first time we rehearsed. And when Jace decided to leave this band because he's got younger boys to play with, Grant called me, and we had a bit of a gig, and it just works. I think we're coming from a similar bluesy background, all of us. So if it's there, if you played it a lot when you were young, it doesn't go away. It's like riding a bike. Yeah, even at my age, it's like riding. Not as fast as I used to, though. The bike is a little bit slower.
And as it should. Look, guys, thanks so much for giving us the time for Wrokdown TV. Really, really thrilled to meet you all again. And we're looking forward to tonight's gig. And you can listen to Life of Riley. I'll turn it around. Southern FM, I'll play it there. I'll play it at Inner FM. I'll play it in my car. You get it and play it in your car. But this is Soozie at Pud's Tavern in Lilydale. Come down and check out this place. It is style and it is wonderful, just like the band. So, yeah, over and out for this week's Wrokdown. See ya.
Fantastic. Life of Riley. So, Suze, where did they find Max?
Matt's apparently toured Europe through the 70s and the 80s. He was telling me he was making $650 a night throughout the 70s and the 80s. He said they toured relentlessly with the bands that he was with, and he got back and he had so much money, but he was just too exhausted to spend it. So he invested it and came here. They pack out venues. People are up in their hills, they line up and they want to hear songs. People know their CD, and it's really, really good because often in this role I'm out, interviewing the more known artists, but there's so many bands like the Life of Riley that it's really, really awesome to give them a bit of a showing on the show, to see the talent that we've got in this country.
Absolutely, and I think a lot of people tend to forget that a three-piece, you go back to the Police.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a different style of music, but how that was just totally well-formed and everything crafted around the instruments that they've got. So three-piece, Life of Riley, rocking, rocking, rocking. So what else are you going to be up to next few weeks?
The next few weeks I'm actually, because we're getting close to holiday time, so I'm actually going to have a little bit of a rest, take some time off. We're going to take a little bit of time off of filming Wrokdown, so I might have to put my feet up and hopefully this gorgeous audience. I just want to mention this being our fun show, that the audience that turn up here every week are just quite remarkable.
And they're great fun, aren't you? Great
Have a
fun.
look. This lifestyle.
You're having fun?
Yeah.
Suze, I'll see you soon.
Yeah,
have a
we'll
lovely
see.
little break.
Yeah.
You behave yourself.
I won't. And hopefully I'll see you out and
will.
about.
The gorgeous Soozie Pinder.
Thanks, Lee.
Wrokdown.
Welcome back to Wrokdown. I'm with Samantha Sang, and I've just been showing everyone these brilliant albums. Of course, during our last segment with gorgeous Soozie Pinder, I showed everyone this.
Yeah.
But there's also this. And Samantha was saying that this guy's
The male model.
a French model, and she said he couldn't dance, and I said,
Does
who
he have
cares?
to?
Who cares? Who cares? So this was your first album after Emotion, or was it this one?
That was the second one.
This
This is the Emotion album, the one that went platinum. Yeah.
So I read,
Look at the hair. My goodness. Gosh, I've had so many hairstyles. But Wendy, you would have too.
Oh, mine weren't really worth talking about. My hairstyles were the bane of my mother's life. It was
Yeah, exactly.
What are you going to do with your hair? It's like, oh, I've done it.
Well, Billy May, my manager, who passed, he used to do my hair. He dyed it. He dyed it. We'd get off a plane after 36 hours, and Billy would say, I was redheaded one time. He said, I'm going to dye you Nordic blonde tonight. And I said, oh, really? And he did. He used to do them all. He was so
he a hairdresser?
creative. No, I just did what he said.
That's fantastic. But that's a brilliant shot as well. Okay, before we were mentioning the fact that Emotion, of course, #1 basically around the world.
Yes.
2.5 million copies in the USA, but 6 million throughout Europe.
Yeah.
I can't wrap my head around that, and you're still normal.
Well, you know, when everything hit, I mean, it's because I grew up in Australia and I'd had a big career here, and I'm a very down-to-earth person. You can tell, as I said, when people are really full of themselves, it comes through. You know, it's my career, it's what I did, you know. So all that success and everything like that. Actually, my band, which I toured with, a few of them were the reeling, belt-wheeling drummer. He got a bit big-headed. I said, hey, settle down, you know. So we toured. When Emotion hit, we had to get, you know, today with Katy Perry and Lady Gaga, who I love Lady Gaga. I think she's absolutely fabulous in that. They have the whistles and the thing, they've got everything going on. You know, the stage, they've got the dancers, I didn't have that. We didn't have that in those days.
Not many people did, though, did they?
No, I had the 9-piece band and the 2 backup singers, and we had to get, everybody said, this is hit. Everybody wants you everywhere, you know, to tour. And we had to, Bill would sing for me a bit because it saved my voice a bit. And then we toured all through America. 9 days I got the band together. And the first place that we went to, and he said, we've got to tell you, Sam, they absolutely roast you. They're the hardest critics at the Forum in Ontario, in Toronto. I thought, oh, that's great. That's terrific. That's where I'm starting off. Anyway, it was fantastic. I sang Emotion 4 times, and the next morning I got out of bed and I looked under the paper. I thought, please, God, make it okay. And it's got a whole big thing on the front, sang Kills Them 4 times with Emotion. All that. And it was great.
The thing is that, and you would have seen this a lot in America, but genuine talent, all you need is the band. You did a lot of shows sort of where you might have seen a few acts that weren't really what they appeared to be?
Well, they needed all that around them. You know, they needed. I'll tell you one, Tina Turner I got on very, very well with Tina Turner. I did it in Canada with Tina. The most down-to-earth person, softly spoken. When she got out there and did Hot Legs, this was in Canada on the Jack Jones show. Remember Jack Jones?
I
and
do.
Dr.
Beautiful
Hook on was
thing,
on, and Tina was on there, and she just knocked them dead. But she didn't.
I can't watch. I can't watch.
No, got to get it down. That's what
I
I
just
look at.
did it.
No, you did not. You look at yourself on television, you go, why didn't somebody tell me?
That's what you're here for.
Shut up.
Oh, God.
Well, we would like to continue from where we were.
Absolutely. Want to sit down and join
I'll
us?
just explain to the audience. I've just been coiffed. Does it
Doesn't look
nice?
You look beautiful
Does it look
anyway,
beautiful?
whether your hair's sticking
Thank
up
you.
or what.
I apologise for that little faux pas. I went like that. Hang on. Is that better? Is that okay now?
You know what you look like now? You look like Blondie. You know Blondie?
Sorry, I
Go on,
just
you.
couldn't help myself. Is that all right now?
Perfect, darling.
Gorgeous. Actually, I wanted to look like Tina Turner. You were just talking about
I was
Tina
talking
Turner.
about Tina
Tell us
Turner.
about Tina Turner.
Well, we just got on so well together. And she said, and the funny thing is because I was a fan of Tina, she's had so many, hits and everything like that. And she said, darling, I want to hit like Emotion now, because she was in her quiet time. And then she had Private Dancer.
Yes.
So
And
that
she
went
had
on.
had a big sort of quiet time before that, and Terry Britton, What's Love
That's
Got
right.
to Do with
What's
It?
Love Got to Do with it? And you
Massive.
know, and she was saying to me, I would love, and I said, Tina, you don't have to. You're a legend,
Some of the other big shows, I saw Merv Griffin, of course, legendary.
Merv always rang me. He was a beautiful man. And I mostly sang live, but then I mimed, and he said, how do you mime so well? I said, it's all the experience in Australia, Merv. We'd had all that childhood experience and things, because she said a lot of them don't mime live.
How did you go touring in Europe? Was it vastly different from the American experience?
The people there were absolutely great. I won the Yugoslavian Song Festival. I went over there and
Was that
did
sort of
that.
like the precursor
Oh,
to...
huge one. Yeah,
what
yeah.
have we
to
got
the
now?
what's the one?
Eurovision.
That's right. It was yes, it was, and it was the most popular performer on that. And then I went to Mexico City. I did my special there, and I did my shows and met Enrico Placido, had a crush on me. We never even went out, but he was about 25 years older. And ended up ringing me when I was back in Australia 3 years later. Hello, Samantha, I love you. Oh my God.
Oh, I think that's very flattering, really.
Do you? Yes. So
Yes.
it was things like that at times, The Dinah Shore show I did.
She was an amazing woman. She was married to Burt Reynolds, yeah?
She was.
Correct.
She was. I did that quite a few times. And you know who was there one night that I was doing was John Housen. John was...
What was he doing?
there. He was in the audience.
I was going to say,
And
he wasn't on the show.
I wanted to drag John up to dance, and he went, oh, no, please don't do it to me. So we had a lot of funny times like that.
We've got so much. I'm going to show all of you all of these fantastic albums. We've got to go to a break. We'll be back soon with the gorgeous Samantha Sang.
Hi, Mick Peeling here with another edition of Mick's Picks right here on Wrokdown TV. My pick for this week is a band that started out in Albany, Western Australia, many, many moons ago. I'm talking about the Waifs, of course, featuring sisters Donna Simpson and Vicky Thorne. And this is their new record, Beautiful You. They live all over the world now, so it's sort of a mixture of stories featuring life experiences and sort of a bit more rock on this record than normally, but some great harmonies from the sisters, and also a great couple of lead vocals by Josh Cunningham, who's been with them for quite a while now. And well worth a listen. It's the Waifs and Beautiful You.
Thank you. Welcome back to Wrokdown. My guest is Samantha Sang and her gorgeous dad sitting over there, the wonderful Mr. Reg Gray.
Absolutely.
And Mum, Joe?
Yes, he sings still fantastic, absolutely.
Still singing,
Oh,
performing?
no, he should be. When I came back here, I did the Comedy Theatre for 3 nights, and I had Samantha Sang and Friend, and I brought Dad on. And I'm backstage changing, and I thought, Sam, don't put your father on the show. He absolutely killed him. Lily and Frank said, we know where she gets the talent from. That was in 99. I hadn't come out for 15 years. See, I come out every 15 years, 20 years. I mean, really. You know, I'll be on a crutch one day.
Well, just before we get on to
Yes.
you coming back to live in Australia,
Yes.
I know that you did some fantastic gigs. Fire Island?
Fire Island was such an experience.
Explain Fire Island gig.
Fire Island is all the gay fraternity. And Wendy would think the same thing. She would appeal very much to a gay audience.
Well, especially after
just,
doing the Dusty show, and that people love.
Yeah, which you were wonderful, absolutely wonderful. And you know, we went there, and I said, Mum, just keep your eyes straight ahead when you arrive, because there's all sorts of things going on there when you get there. The village people were doing the concert next door, and then I was doing my concert. They were incredible. There was something, darling, we love. So I wore a Marilyn Monroe dress with split up the tide, as you do.
What made you eventually decide to come back to Australia?
I wanted a normal life. You know, I'd been touring with the band for 3 to 4 years, and we were doing everything and recording, and, you know, I always had this sort of thing of the white picket fence, and I was about 31, 32, came back in 82, and got married and had my beautiful son, Mark. Hi, Mark, if you're watching. And I just wanted to, I loved Australia, you know. I just didn't want to be on the roller coaster ride. I'd done enough.
And back around real people.
That's right. That's what I like.
Well, we've got some very exciting news to announce.
Yeah.
Because in a couple of months, you will be doing...
The Go Show. You've got to all be there, promise me.
Absolutely. Tell us who else is on the show that
Johnny
you know
Young,
of so
yes,
far.
yes. Dennis Smith came to me and he said, would you like to do The Go Show? And I thought about it and I thought, yeah, I'd love to see everybody that I haven't seen for so many years and perform around Australia, you know, that I haven't done for so many years. So Johnny Young's hosting the show. We've got Ronnie Burns on, Normie Rowe, the great Colin Hewitt, Max Merritt is coming out.
Coming back.
Max
Cool.
is coming out from England. The Vibrants. If I miss anybody, I'm sorry. I haven't got a list. I've meant to ring Dennis this week to find out totally. Tony Worsley, Roster Wiley. There'll be more. You know, it's the regular crowd.
It's
I think
been
that do
so
it.
successful. I think this is probably their
Third. This is their third.
Third go, and
Yes.
just amazing audiences. So get your tickets. Do you have any
Yes.
dates yet? Do you know?
No,
when
it's going to be from the 21st of July to the 30th.
Right, but not
around
knowing
Australia.
which
I don't know
state
whether
yet.
Melbourne's first or what. Dennis was trying to get everything organised with it. But, you know, with big theatres and things like that, sometimes you can't, you know, put it in. So we'll just see. So, you know, I'm really excited about it. Just to perform to the people I love and where I was born and bred and started, you know, what it's about.
Sam, I want to thank you so much for being on the show. It's so so wonderful to catch up. As we said earlier, we did a theatre show together. Sam was the star and I used to push things around, I think.
So were you.
No,
Don't underplay yourself.
You've got to tell a funny story. Samantha,
Oh, this is a funny story, yeah.
of course, it was all magic.
Yes.
Right, all magic illusions, and the fabulous magician from
Yeah,
America,
Larry Anderson, who I saw,
Yeah.
you know, a while back. Ross Skiffington.
Ross
Ross,
Skiffington.
if you're listening, darling, I mention you. I love you
gorgeous Ross.
dearly.
But of course, as we said, with animals, everything that could go wrong did.
Oh.
And Sam was covered for the whole course of the show in bruises.
Black and blue.
But there was this other fabulous woman who had actually ended up going, and she was American anyway, going and doing the show on Broadway.
Yes.
Her name, Natalie Moscow. And of course, every night in the show, Natalie used to be sawn in half. And we're all standing there like, and our job, you were being a star stuck in a box or something.
Oh, God, yeah, honey, you should have been there.
And of course, you know, every night you get used to this, and we had to sign confidentiality clauses.
I've never said to this day, and Ross
Neither
said
have I.
No, I've never have.
You've got to do it. The code of the
The
magic
code of
You've
magic.
got to
Nobody can
keep
get it out of me.
zipped.
No.
But this freaked me out. Natalie's being sawn in half. You know, and it's all staged. It's fantastic. Until we looked down and started to see the blood dripping, real blood, dripping on the floor. And of course, everyone's really worried about Natalie. I was worried about me because I was her understudy. And I thought, tomorrow night it's going to be me being sawn in half. It was a very funny show.
She came running in, you know, that, I'm still in a half, I'm so bleed. But she, like a professional, she had it all bandaged. Anyway, to make a long story short, when I was in New York and Emotion was going, it was all set up. The show was going fantastic. And they said, Natalie Moscow is in the show, lying out there as Natalie was. She was very theatrical.
Yeah.
And we're going to pick you out of the audience to come up and check the chains for the magic, which I did. And all of a sudden there's this big, on the back room. It's Natalie. She said, Sam, where did you appear from?
She thought it was magic.
Yes, I said, magic, honey, magic.
Magic. You know? Well, we kept our mouths shut. We were very good girls. I want you to sign this for us, please.
Certainly.
This
Yes,
is our very salubrious-looking autograph book. Beautiful. And we're wondering if you would sign that to all of us here at Wrokdown. We're looking forward to seeing you. I'm coming to the Go show, especially to see you. And we're
Thank you,
we're all
darling.
going, aren't we?
Are you all going? Fantastic. Thank you very much. Because it'd be good to have nobody there.
No, it'll be packed.
I just want it's right back here, isn't it?
It'll be packed, and it's wonderful to have you back here in Australia.
Emotion was a song that was really meant for me because I am so emotional.
You're cheering up, don't you?
Well, it's just been lovely talking to you, Wendy. It really is, and to seeing you again. She doesn't look anything over 40. I hate her body. Look,
only 36.
My gosh. Girl power. That's what I say, girl power.
You're a beautiful girl, and you're the same person that I met all those years ago when we were kids. I'm so proud of you. You've been a massive, massive worldwide star, and you're still the same gorgeous person.
Thank you, darling.
Ladies and gentlemen, Samantha Sang.